Hey guys, so today I'm doing a video on my hair and the process of getting it chemically straightened. This was super requested after I mentioned that I wanted to do a video, and so I wanted to go ahead and do it. So I'm just going to start off really quickly by showing you a video that I took before I got it done, just that way you can see the contrast between before and after. Okay, so this is what my natural hair looks like. You can see it up here, but what you can see most is like when I pull back these layers, you can see right there sort of what it looks like. And then this part is the part that has been done. As you can see, it sort of dries with a little bit of a wave in it, but I sort of like it. It gives my hair a little bit of texture. But all of this part is permanently straightened or whatever, but this part you can see is pretty unmanageable. And so I just straighten out the roots when my hair is not done, but you can definitely see the difference, I'm sure, between when it's done and when it is not done. And obviously this is the after, and as you can see, it is a huge difference. Obviously, that was like after I got it done, because then only your roots grow in curly, because after that your hair, this part is permanently straightened. This will never be curly ever again. If I just kept this forever, it would never turn curly. So when your hair is growing out, because obviously your hair grows, it still grows curly because that's still your natural hair. So that's sort of what it looks like when it's grown in, and that was quite a few inches. I probably should have had it already done before it got to that many inches. So that's sort of the before and after. So I want to share the history of my hair. I obviously have extremely curly hair. I mean, it is pretty awful. I get it from my dad, and everyone's like, oh, like, why don't you keep your curly hair? But I just want to make it very clear that my hair is not really curly. Yes, it has curls in it, but it is kinky and frizzy. You cannot get a brush through it. You cannot get a comb through it. It is miserable. My hair was unbearable. The only thing I could do with it is put it in a bun on my head. And it got to the point where I hated it. I absolutely despised it, and I just didn't want to put up with it anymore. So make sure I wouldn't necessarily recommend this to someone who like has wavy hair. If you really want pin straight hair, and you sort of have wavy hair, just go for the keratin treatment, because what I do, I don't think I said this, is get the Japanese hair straightening, which is what gives you the permanent straight. But I think that I have to be honest, it's very damaging to your hair, so you want to make sure that your hair is at the extreme, that it's important that you get it done. So I've been getting it done since 7th grade, so I can't remember exactly when in the year I got it done, but somewhere between 2006 and 2007. So I've gotten it done so many times. I've gotten it done in 2 different salons, I think, maybe 3, I can't exactly remember, but the process is basically the same. I've gotten it done 2 different salons, but I've had 3 different stylists work on my hair. You get it done about 3 times a year. They say to go like every 4 months, but I usually push it just because it is very expensive. Just to let you know, it is a big commitment to get it done. Depending on how curly your hair is, you're gonna have to go in for a consultation. They're going to give you a number, and it sort of varies from salon to salon, but when I first got mine done, I think it cost somewhere between $600 and $700. I'm not sure, because that's your first time, so they have to do your entire head. And I'm telling you, after you get it done, you will be amazed at your hair. You're just going to be so, so happy with it. And now, like, I'm still obviously super happy with it, but I'm just more used to it now, so I don't get as excited, but it is the most exciting thing ever. And now for touch-ups, I usually pay somewhere between $350 and $400. So still a ton of money. It's still a really big commitment, but it's worth it for me because my hair is so unbearable. There's absolutely nothing you can do with my hair to make it nice. When I was little, it was more of ringlets, so like looked cute on my hair. I was a little girl, so like it looked nice, but the more I grew up, the more my hair just became unbearable. I actually get it from my dad, which is funny, but he's a boy, so he can just buzz his hair. But in high school, his high school like senior picture, his hair is so big that it goes outside of the frame from the picture. It's very funny, but that is the potential of what my hair could be. It would have just been like, you know, like this sort of thing, and I was not down for that. That was not happening to me. Also, it's a big commitment because getting it done once
is fine, but then you're going to have to understand that you're going to have to let your hair grow out. So for a while, half your hair will be curly and half of it will be straight. So you're going to have to straighten the whole thing or cut your hair. So it is a big deal to get it done, because if you don't want to get it redone, you think it's too much money to like get it redone so often, understand the consequences of that. Also, you cannot dye your hair with it in, because of all the chemicals they have to put in your hair. Putting the dye in, your hair cannot handle it, and I've heard like awful stories about people's hair falling out. So I've also talked to stylists about how you can dye your hair, and they definitely recommend going into a salon and getting it done, because it is a very sensitive thing, and just getting like semi-permanent and keeping it that way. So if you are like really dead set on getting it dyed, you can do that. You would probably have to wait a month or two before you get it done. That way the chemicals aren't as extreme, but that's sort of what it is. Next, I want to talk about the process, like how it actually gets done. It is a very, very long process. The first time that you get it done, it took me somewhere between 8 and 8.5 hours to get it done. It is a very long, annoying process. Oh God, it's so annoying. I hate getting it done. It's like such a pain, but it's worth it in the end for me. So when you go in, they're going to wash your hair first. That way it'll just be in its natural curly way of being without any products or anything in it. And then they're going to start, they'll probably, yes, they blow dry your hair after that. I think they just want to make sure it's super clean, and then they blow dry your hair. So then they're going to start in with the chemicals, and the chemicals smell sort of like gross, just so you know. But obviously it's fine, like whatever. So they're going to start in on your hair, and they're going to take the smallest sections you have ever seen ever of hair. So they split it up, 2 sections in the back and then 2 in the front, and they literally, the sections that they take are, this is thicker than what they take. It is so thin. I mean, it's crazy. I can't even replicate it. They take very thin layers, because they have to make sure every single hair gets covered. So that's part of the reason why it's such a long and grueling process. And especially the first time you get done, they have to do your whole hair. When you're getting it redone, it usually takes somewhere between 5 and 6 hours to get it done, just because they only have to do the roots, but it's still a lot of wait time, so that's why it still takes a while. So as I just mentioned, afterwards you have some wait time. It's actually funny because they're going to put saran wrap over top, saran wrap over top of your head to lock everything in, and then they're going to heat it somehow. So sometimes they use these, I've been under these like big giant spinning lamps that sort of cover your hair, and I've also sat in the chairs where they like put the thing over top of your head. I actually took a picture of me in that, so you can see that right now. I'm going to stick the picture up on the screen. So that's another way that they can do it. But anyway, that takes a long time. They usually let that sit for I want to say like 1.5 hours. It's a pretty long process, and it also depends on your hair. Every once in a while they're going to come in, they're going to check on it, and then they'll decide whether it needs more time or if it's finished. So after that, they're going to rinse your whole hair out and then blow dry it again. And you're going to notice a difference in your hair right away. You're going to be like, oh my God, my hair is straight, but it's like not even done yet, so you're going to die. So after that, they're going to section your hair again, and they're going to start straightening it. They're going to use the same very, very thin layers, and they're going to go over it so many times. I mean, they literally go like this over and over and over again, over and over and over again, over and over and over again, and they're going to make sure that it's completely 100% straight. It's going to be pin, super straight, almost like too straight. Sometimes when you get it redone, your hair is going to look too straight. It's going to have no volume at all. But after you wash it and give it a few days, it does get a little bit more volume. After you wash it, you can add products to your hair. So don't worry, just for the first few days, it's going to be like pin straight, and you're going to be like, I hate this. Okay, so after they're done straightening your hair perfectly, they're going to then use a different kind of product that is sort of like a sealer. Like it's going to, because the first chemical opens the cuticles on your head, so then they straighten it, right? So now they need to close the cuticles again. So that's what this product is for, and it doesn't take quite so long for this. They don't have to use quite so small of layers, but it still takes a while, especially when you're getting your whole head done for the first time, because they have to cover, you know, more hair than if you're just getting your roots redone. So you're going to have to sit in that. And, you know, I'm really bad with time increments, but it's probably for a half hour, 45 minutes. Like I said, it sort of varies also. And then they're going to rinse that out, and then they're going to straighten it again, and then you'll be done. So I know that sounds like, I know it sounds like a long process, but also it sounds like a short process for it to take 8 hours. But that's just sort of the way it is. It just takes a really long time to get it done. Like I said, I think it is 100% worth it for me. You have to make that decision for yourself. You have to go to a stylist and get a, you know, consultant, and they're going to tell you whether it's the right option for you. And obviously it's your choice in the end. You can get it done if you want to, but it's a lot of money, it's a long time, and it's sort of a big commitment, because once you start, it's very hard to stop. So you have to figure out your own pros and cons. Like, you might want to ask a few of these questions to yourself. Is your hair totally unbearable? Is your hair curly to the part where you're super unhappy with your hair and you feel like there's nothing you can do about it? And also, are you ready to make the commitment with the money? Is it worth it for the amount of money that you're going to have to spend? Is it worth it for the commitment where you're going to have to get it done for a long time unless you want to let your hair grow out? So like I've mentioned a few times, it's a huge commitment. Just make that decision for yourself, figure out what you want to do, and, you know, go from there. And if you have any more questions and things that I haven't covered, please don't hesitate to leave questions down there. As always, I answer every single comment. So I will definitely answer all of your questions to the best of my knowledge. So I hope this video was really helpful for everyone who is thinking about getting this done, and I will see you in my next video. Be kind to one another. Bye!